Sunday, September 17th, 2023, evening edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video.
Good evening, dear viewers. I am your news anchor, Xander Voxius III. Thank you for tuning in to the Future of News, AGNDD Intellireport. As always, I will be assisted by my valued AI-generated colleagues in summarizing the news. Without further ado, here are the headlines of the day. Small city ends bus service to emulate Uber. Fentanyl crisis spreads across the U.S. Top movies from the 80s that remain timeless. Van Gogh painting returned in IKEA bag. The surprising signs of alcohol allergies or intolerance. TikTok fined 345 million euros for child data violations, and more. But first, let's take a look at this day in history.
September 17th in history. September 17th, 1543. The first Finnish-language book, the Abkiria by Mikael Agricola, is published in Stockholm.
Today's obituaries. Oya Alasya, 74, Turkish actress known for her roles in Sev Kardeşim and From the Village to the City. Pepe Domingo Castano, 80, Spanish radio, Carrusel Deportivo, and television presenter, 300 Melones, singer and writer. Joy Chambers, a 76-year-old Australian actress, has sadly passed away. She was known for her roles in popular TV shows such as The Restless Years, The Young Doctors, and Neighbours. In addition to her acting career, Joy was also an accomplished author, poet, and businesswoman. She was married to television tycoon Reg Grundy until his death in 2016. Emile Dupré, brief Wikipedia summary. Emile Dupré, a Canadian professional wrestler and promoter, has passed away at the age of 86. He had a successful career in Stampede Wrestling and later started his own promotion, Grand Prix Wrestling, where he worked with notable wrestlers such as Edge and Ric Flair. Mohammad Mahdi al-Khorasani, brief Wikipedia summary. Mohammad Mahdi al-Khorasani, a 94-year-old Iraqi Grand Ayatollah, has passed away. Alexander Kavan, brief Wikipedia summary. Alexander Kavan, a Russian film director and actor known for films such as Duba Duba and Carmen, has passed away at the age of 65. Hennady Lahuta, brief Wikipedia summary. Hennady Lahuta, a Ukrainian politician and former governor of Kherson Oblast, has died at the age of 49. He served as governor from October 2021 to July 2022, before being removed from office by the Russian military during the Russian occupation of Kherson Oblast. Arthur Longbottom was an English footballer who had a successful career playing for Queen's Park Rangers, Port Vale and Oxford United. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 90.
General news.
How the fentanyl crisis fourth wave has hit every corner of the U.S., BBC.
Fentanyl initially faced resistance in the U.S. due to its illegal nature, but its affordability compared to other drugs led to its widespread availability in the country.
Flood hit Libyan city facing long recovery as search for missing goes on. Reuters.com.
The coastal city of Derna in eastern Libya has been devastated by a flood, with residents counting their losses and searching for missing persons. The flood has caused widespread damage to buildings and infrastructure, and the death toll is expected to be much higher than reported. Aid supplies, including emergency medical assistance, have been flown in by various countries and organizations. The situation is described as tragic, and the recovery process is expected to take months or even years.
Florida versus Tennessee live stream TV channel. Watch online. Prediction spread. Pick football game odds. CBS Sports.
The article discusses the upcoming football game between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Florida Gators. Tennessee will be looking to end their two-decade losing streak at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, while Florida aims to secure a signature victory early in Coach Billy Napier's second season. The article also highlights the offensive questions for both teams and the potential return of their starting centers. It concludes with a prediction for the game.
Plane crash in Brazil's Amazon state leaves 14 dead. Reuters.com.
14 people died in a plane crash in Brazil's Amazonas state. The small jet crashed in the Barcelos province, and the cause of the accident is believed to be an error in the landing route due to heavy rainfall. The Brazilian Air Force is investigating.
Business news.
TikTok faces massive €345 million fine over child data violations in EU. The Hacker News.
The Irish Data Protection Commission has fined TikTok €345 million, $368 million, for violating the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, in relation to its handling of children's data. The investigation found that TikTok had set child users' content to public by default, failed to provide transparency information, and implemented dark patterns to steer users towards privacy-intrusive options. TikTok has disagreed with the decision and stated that the criticized features have since been changed.
What if public transit was like Uber? A small city ended its bus service to find out ABC News.
The city of Wilson, North Carolina, has experienced a 300% increase in public transit ridership since introducing an on-demand van service in September 2020. This service, priced at under $3 per ride, has effectively attracted passengers and offered transportation alternatives in areas with restricted car accessibility. Similar microtransit programs have been adopted by other communities in North Carolina and elsewhere, emphasizing the potential of these technology-driven small-scale solutions to transportation challenges in both urban and rural regions.
Tesla is capitalizing on the surging demand for its vehicles through an ambitious lease securitization plan. This move allows the company to tap into the growing market and maximize its potential. It is worth noting that this development is unrelated to any Tesla application.
Tesla is embarking on its largest lease securitization project to date, aiming to raise $1.8 billion by bundling together car leases and selling them as bonds to investors. The move will provide Tesla with immediate liquidity and allow the company to expand its leasing opportunities. This financial strategy has been used by Tesla in the past and has proven successful in raising funds. Additionally, Tesla is reportedly on the verge of a manufacturing breakthrough with a new gigacasting process that could revolutionize vehicle production and help cut costs.
Science news.
Callisto oxygen anomaly stumps scientists. Interesting engineering.
A recent study has found that Jupiter's moon, Callisto, has a higher concentration of molecular oxygen in its atmosphere than previously believed. This discovery challenges previous assumptions and raises questions about the moon's atmospheric dynamics.
Artificial photosynthesis breakthrough. Researchers produce hybrid solid catalysts. SciTech Daily.
Researchers at Tokyo Tech have developed a method for creating functional protein crystals with promising catalytic properties. By using genetically altered bacteria as a synthesis platform, the researchers produced hybrid solid catalysts for artificial photosynthesis, which exhibited high activity, stability, and durability. This innovative approach has the potential to produce protein crystals with both natural enzymes and synthetic functional molecules, tapping into their full potential for enzyme immobilization. The study highlights the potential of bioengineering in synthesizing complex functional materials and suggests that this approach could be used in research areas such as nanomaterials and artificial photosynthesis.
No ancient ice on moon. New study shows interesting engineering.
A new study led by Norbert Schorghofer from the Planetary Science Institute reveals that the moon's permanently shadowed regions, previously thought to be ancient reservoirs for water ice, are actually much younger. This new understanding has implications for future lunar exploration missions.
Health news.
Magnesium for weight loss. What women over 50 need to know, Woman's World.
The article discusses the importance of magnesium for overall health, including weight loss and better sleep. Many Americans are deficient in magnesium due to a lack of it in processed foods. Magnesium helps with various bodily functions, including transporting nutrients into cells and regulating blood sugar. It also helps reduce stress hormones and improve sleep quality. The recommended daily intake of magnesium is 300 to 600 milligrams.
The surprising signs your body is allergic or intolerant to alcohol. Newsweek.
The article discusses the possibility of being intolerant or allergic to alcohol if one feels physically sick after drinking, even when not consuming excessive amounts.
Unique new drug is more effective than Ozempic for weight loss. Science alert.
A new drug named tirzepatide and marketed as Mounjaro has been granted approval in the United Kingdom for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. This medication is administered through injections and aids in regulating blood glucose levels after meals while also managing appetite. Extensive research has demonstrated that tirzepatide is more effective than other drugs commonly used for type 2 diabetes, resulting in notable weight loss and improved control over blood sugar levels. It is the first of its kind classified as a dual hormone agonist, as it binds to the receptors of two hormones, GLP-1 and GIP, which stimulate the release of insulin. Tirzepatide only needs to be administered once a week and can be used alongside other diabetes medications. Moreover, there is evidence suggesting its potential for weight loss, as studies involving obese patients without diabetes have shown significant reductions in body weight.
Entertainment news.
Revisiting the 80s top 15 movies that still hold up today. Startifacts.
The article discusses 5 80s movies that are still relevant and enjoyable today, including E.T. the Extraterrestrial, The Breakfast Club, Die Hard, Stand By Me, and Beetlejuice. Each film is briefly described, highlighting their enduring appeal.
Missing Van Gogh painting worth millions returned to museum in IKEA bag. Fox News.
Dutch police have recovered a stolen Van Gogh painting, Parsonage Garden at Nieuwennen in Spring, thanks to a tip from an art detective. The painting was stolen in 2020 from the Singer Lauren Museum in Amsterdam and was returned in an IKEA bag. The Groninger Museum, which owns the painting, expressed gratitude for its return. The artwork will be displayed in the museum once again.
You ever notice how every time you open a history book, there's always some odd little tidbit that makes you scratch your globe and wonder what in the world was going on? Take September 17th, 1543. You know what happened on that day? The first Finnish language book was published, the Abkiria by Mikael Agricola. Now, I'm all for celebrating literature and the preservation of languages, but do we really need to mark every single book that gets published? I mean, I can't even find my car keys half the time, and we're here memorializing a book from the 16th century? It's mind-boggling. And speaking of mind-boggling, did you hear about that small city that decided to end its bus service just to try and emulate Uber? I mean, what kind of logic is that? Sure, Uber is convenient and all, but not everyone can afford to use it regularly. What about those folks who rely on the bus to get to work or school? Are we just going to leave them stranded? It's like trading in a perfectly good minivan for a sports car that's too expensive to maintain. It's a ridiculous idea. Now let's talk about something really serious, the fentanyl crisis spreading all across the U.S. This is no laughing matter, folks. We're talking about a deadly epidemic causing countless deaths. And yet, it seems like not enough is being done to combat it. We need to address this issue globe on with increased awareness, education, and stricter regulation. We can't just sit back and watch as lives are lost to a silent killer. It's time to take action, plain and simple. But let's not dwell on the negative. How about those top movies from the 80s that remain timeless? Now, I love a good 80s flick as much as the next globe. But let's be honest, there were some real stinkers too. I mean, for every Back to the Future or Ghostbusters, there's a Howard the Duck or Ishtar. So let's not get too nostalgic here. Instead, let's appreciate the classics and maybe even rediscover some hidden gems from that era. And speaking of hidden gems, did you hear about that Van Gogh painting that was returned in an IKEA bag? I mean, seriously, all that money, all that history, and some knucklehead thought it was a good idea to stuff it in an IKEA bag? I can't even fit a week's worth of groceries in one of those things without the handles ripping, and they're trusting a priceless work of art to it. Unbelievable. Now let's switch gears for a moment and talk about something we can all relate to: alcohol allergies or intolerance. Who would have thought that some globes can't even enjoy a simple drink without their body reacting like it's sawing through onions? I mean, what a bummer. Imagine going out with friends for a nice dinner, ordering a glass of wine, and then boom, you're left red-faced and wheezing. It's enough to drive you to drink. Well, maybe not if you're intolerant, but you get my point. And last but not least, TikTok getting fined 345 million euros for child data violations. Now, I may be old-fashioned, but I just don't understand this whole TikTok craze. I thought it was just a bunch of kids dancing and lip-syncing, but now it turns out they're violating child data privacy. Well, color me shocked. It seems like every time we turn around, there's some new scandal involving social media platforms and our personal information. Maybe it's time we go back to good old-fashioned face-to-face conversations and keep our kids safe from privacy invasions. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Well, that's all the time I have for today, folks. Remember, history may be strange, headlines may be baffling, but there's always something to rant about. Until next time, this is Globey signing off.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intellireport. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.